What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Roasted Beans and Tires. We are here on our third day of riding in West Virginia. We're actually staying in McCoy, Kentucky, but we are down here at the Hatfield McCoy trails, West Virginia, Kentucky. You cross all the borders when you're staying down here. But let me tell you, we just had our last and final day, and what a time we had. What are we gonna do today? We're gonna have videos that go through every day we had, but first, we're gonna review the rides that we brought with us. We brought our 2025 Maverick X3 Max, and we also brought our 2025 Can-Am Maverick X3 XRC, the rock crawling edition. And both these machines did amazing. And I can tell you right now, there's not another machine I'd rather have while I was out here. Let's go over a few things that really made these machines awesome, and let's go over a few things that I'm going to add before I come back next month in November. First, let's talk about the suspension. The suspension on both these rides was awesome. I will say the Max, we did have 4 people in it, and you definitely need to preload it a little bit more. There were some points where it did bottom out, where the XRC did not bottom out because there was only 2 of us. Even though I think we need to preload the Max a little bit more, they both rode amazing. Going through all sorts of trails, going through rocks, going through everything, we really got a lot done, and they both held up well. All of our backs are good. We're all feeling great. They really did a great job. And let's talk about the power. The power was amazing. There were a few times where we were going up some hills that we really needed to gas it, and I feel like every time we went to hit the gas, there was always more power available. We never got to a point where we felt like we needed more. There's a few spots where you go through rocks, where you go up hills, steep hills, and we really had all the power we needed. Now, are we using the full capabilities of the turbo while we're on the trail? Absolutely not. When we're on the road, absolutely. But on the trail, when you're going 25, 30 miles an hour, we always had full power available, and it was amazing. That's one thing I would say that with my KRX, I probably would have lost. I'm definitely glad that we had this Can-Am cooler for our storage. It did help us out a lot. We didn't need a ton of stuff in there, thankfully, like tire repair kits or anything like that. But having the ability to have all that stuff with us and peace of mind was a huge help. Also, having an extra belt that is universal to both of my machines definitely was very useful. Again, we were lucky and didn't have to use it, but great knowing that we had the ability to use it if we needed. One thing I'm going to be adding when we get home is we are going to change the seatbelts. These seatbelts, I feel, are not the best option for what we're doing. I feel like we do need to go to at least a 4-point or 5-point harness. I feel like if we were to get in a situation where we were rolling down a hill, you wouldn't really be held in there tight enough. And I just feel a little more comfortable with a 4-point or 5-point harness. So we're going to get back and we are going to look at what options we have for this. If you have options, let us know in the comments. Maybe we can look at what you got. The final thing I would say we're missing compared to my Razors would be a backup camera. There's a lot of times where you need a backup on the hill because you have two-way traffic coming and sometimes it's too tight. Not having a backup camera and then using this backup mirror, it doesn't go the best because I have this box on the back, so it does block your view. So I think we are going to add a backup camera to this mirror, maybe one of the Wolf boxes or something else. But to me, a backup camera definitely is going to be added. Another big feature of this was this back seat. We were able to put full adults back here. My friend, who is 6'2", 6'3", sat in the back seat, comfortable the whole time. That's one thing I definitely would say I would not have gotten with my Razor XP4 1000. This, I can say, definitely helped. Now, having that bigger back seat does make it so that this machine is 13.5 feet versus about 11.2 for the Razor. So you do get a little bit of extra length, which I will say there's a few times where it did cause you to have to do a 3-point turn where, you know, me at 11 feet, 11 and a half feet, I didn't have to do a 2-point turn. But that is something that you deal with a 4-seater. But I would tell you, this is the best 4-seater I've had, and it definitely has the most room and most function for what you want a 4-seater for. Other than those two very minor things, a seatbelt, the different seatbelts, and a rear view camera, honestly, these machines were amazing. I would not have brought any of my other machines over these 100%. Between both the Razors I've owned, the Kawasaki, these machines are exactly what you need for these trails out here in West Virginia. They have the power. They're only 64 inches wide, which is a huge factor while out here. My Pro R would have been great out here power-wise, but some of the spots where we had to back up and we got stuck, we would have had a real issue having a 74-inch wide machine. Because actually one of the times someone else had a 74-inch wide machine, and the two of us, I don't think we would have fit through. Absolutely recommend to everybody the 64-inch wide ones. If you do have the 74 or larger, you're just going to have to pay more attention to if people are coming down or up the mountain, because there are some spots where you are going to get stuck, and I don't really know what you're going to do. You're going to have to back up the hill, or they're going to have to back up the hill. I'm not 100% sure, but I can tell you that there was only one time where we got in a tight spot with these machines. All the other times, no issue. Absolutely loved them. Never had an issue with power. The power was great. These things absolutely hauled ass going up the hills. Down the hills, they handled amazing. They crawled over all the rocks. It was a great time, and I can tell you, we can't wait to come back down in November. I'm going to get a few of those things added to these machines when we get home, and it's going to be even better. I can't wait. Make sure you guys pay attention, subscribe, and watch, because there's more videos coming from this trip. We're going to have full recaps of all of our days. We can't wait. Thank you for watching Roasted Beans and Tires, Falconer Power Sports Can-Am. Let's go. Bring it down,